Welcome to Have You Read It? The channel where we bring books to life, one summary at a time. Today we're diving into Rage Becomes Her: The Power of Women's Anger by Soraya Chemaly. This book tackles a crucial topic, the way society conditions women to suppress their anger, and the profound personal and social implications that arise. Chemaly argues that understanding and embracing our anger is essential for women to assert themselves, challenge injustice, and drive meaningful change. It's a call to action, urging us to own our anger and use it as a catalyst for positive change. This book is a unique exploration of how gender, culture, and power dynamics intersect to shape women's emotional experiences. It offers a fresh perspective on anger, reframing it as a tool for self-discovery and social transformation. Rage Becomes Her challenges conventional wisdom by reframing anger as a potentially positive force for change in women's lives. This book challenges the conventional wisdom that anger is inherently negative, particularly for women. Chemaly argues that society often conditions women to suppress their anger, which can have detrimental consequences for their well-being and perpetuate gender inequality. Instead, she encourages women to embrace their anger as a source of power, a tool for self-discovery, and a catalyst for social change. I will elaborate key ideas and memorable insights from the book. Chemaly begins by illustrating how girls are socialized from a young age to suppress their anger, while boys are often given more leeway to express it. This creates a double standard where anger is seen as unfeminine and unattractive in women, leading them to internalize their emotions or express them in indirect and often self-destructive ways. Throwing plates, for example, allows Chemaly's mother to be angry without seeming angry, in effect allowing her to be a good woman by not being demanding or loud and by not expressing her own needs. As girls move into adolescence, they face increasing pressure to conform to gender stereotypes. They're taught to prioritize the needs and feelings of others, often at the expense of their own. The pervasiveness of negative stereotypes about women's anger further discourages them from expressing it openly. Media plays a significant role in reinforcing these stereotypes, portraying angry women as irrational, hysterical, or unlikable. Media also emphasizes women's appearance over their character, thus perpetuating a cycle of self-objectification. These experiences can have a detrimental impact on women's self-esteem, leading them to question their own feelings and doubt their ability to affect change. To manage, women often resort to self-silencing or engage in passive-aggressive behaviors. Also, when women and men feel anger, they respond differently. Men more frequently associate feeling powerful with experiencing anger, whereas women associate powerlessness with their anger. Furthermore, the author addresses the harmful effects of objectification, self-surveillance, and the ways they contribute to women's mental health issues, such as anxiety, depression, and eating disorders. By internalizing societal expectations, women often view their bodies as objects to be judged and controlled, leading to feelings of shame and inadequacy. Objectification denies women's subjectivity. And because anger is all about subjectivity, you can't express it without asserting I and your own perspective. Chemaly calls attention to the insidious ways in which women are denied the right to make decisions about their own bodies, from restricted access to reproductive health care to the minimization of their pain and health concerns. Dismissal of anger enforces women's silence, or, as she put it, the structure enforcing women's silence. She argues that these systemic inequalities perpetuate a cycle of oppression and prevent women from fully participating in society. It is notable that treating women's anger and pain in these ways makes it easier to exploit us for reproduction, labor, sex, and ideology. Moving beyond the individual level, the book explores the social and political implications of suppressing women's anger. Denying women the right to express their anger effectively silences their voices, limits their ability to advocate for their interests, and reinforces a patriarchal status quo. Anger has a bad rap, but it is actually one of the most hopeful and forward-thinking of all our emotions. It begets transformation, manifesting our passion and keeping us invested in the world. It is a rational and emotional response to trespass, violation, and moral disorder. It bridges the divide between what is and what ought to be, between a difficult past and an improved possibility. She offers a set of tools and strategies for women to reclaim their anger and use it as a force for positive change, explaining the importance of self-awareness, boundary setting, community building, and challenging traditional gender roles. Because it represents risk or challenge, or because it disrupts a comfortable status quo, when we forego talking about anger, we forego valuable lessons about risk and challenge and the discomforts of the status quo. By naturalizing the idea that women aren't angry but are sad, by insisting that they keep their anger to themselves, we render women's feelings and demands mute and with little social value. When we call our anger sadness instead of anger, we often fail to acknowledge what is wrong, specifically in a way that discourages us from imagining and pursuing change. The overall message of the book is clear, that anger is like water. No matter how hard a person tries to dam, divert, or deny it, it will find a way, usually along the path of least resistance. So, what are the key takeaways from Rage Becomes Her? First, acknowledge your anger. Recognize it as a valid and informative emotion. Second, challenge traditional gender roles. Break free from the expectation to always be nice and accommodating. Third, practice assertiveness. Express your needs and boundaries with confidence and clarity. The power to control the environment. Fourth, challenge the current system and give other women the ability to be heard. The anger they feel matters. Fifth, connect with other women and create a community. Know that you're not alone in your experiences. Sixth, reclaim your voice. Speak up against injustice and demand to be heard and valued. Lastly, trust other women and give them the freedom to express their emotions. The ability to make demands on the world. In wrapping up our exploration of Rage Becomes Her, it's clear that understanding and embracing women's anger is not just a personal journey but a societal imperative. Suppressing this powerful emotion has far-reaching consequences, affecting individual well-being, relationships, and even political landscapes. By encouraging open dialogue, challenging gender norms, and fostering empathy, we can create a world where women's voices are heard, respected, and valued. This book serves as a call to action, urging us to own our anger and use it as a catalyst for positive change. It's a reminder that true progress lies in dismantling the structures that silence and oppress, allowing all individuals to express their emotions freely and authentically. In conclusion, I hope that this book will arm you with tools to see yourself and your environment more clearly, ultimately improving both your life and the lives of those in your orbit. Because the truth is that anger isn't what gets in our way, it is our way. All we have to do is own it. Thanks for watching. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you never miss our next book dive.